Well, Friday is World Humanitarian Day, a day to remember and pay tribute to aid workers who risk their lives to help people in need. The United Nations says 130 million people across the world are in need of humanitarian aid to survive. Those people are spread across 40 countries. In the past 10 years, more than 1,000 aid workers have been killed carrying out their duties. In 2015, 287 aid workers were victims of major attacks. Well, Serap Ozturk is the Deputy International Representative of the Turkish branch of Doctors Without Borders and says there needs to be more accountability for those who carry out airstrikes targeting civilians and humanitarian workers.
It seems that targeting medical facilities and health workers became, or more generally civilian public areas and civilians, became a kind of military strategy for the warring parties in some contexts. For example, in Syria, more than 1.5 million people are in besieged areas, prevented from getting getting very limited health services, and cannot evacuate the critical patients. Preventing the health care is clearly increasing the mortality within the population. We are communicating, we are keeping the dialogue with all the warring parties in Syria, in Yemen, in other contexts that we are working in. We are communicating our coordinates to all warring parties. This is for MSF-run facilities, so I need to differentiate the ones that we are managing and the ones that we are supporting. The facilities that we are supporting in Syria, for example, it's up to them to decide whether they would like to share or not their coordinates with the Syrian government. And apart from that, we are trying to have a loud voice in public to ask, especially to the UN Security Council members and to the warring parties who are taking part in the wars, to stop bombing hospitals, civilians, patients, health workers, and to take accountability on their attacks. Saying simply after an attack that it was a mistake, like happened in Kunduz, like in Yemen, to our hospitals, is not acceptable.